to bind men together in a brotherhood based upon eternal and immutable principles, with a bond as strong as right itself and as lasting as humanity, to know no north, no south, no east, no west, but to know man as man, to teach that true men the world over should stand together and contend for supremacy of good over evil, to teach not politics but morals, to foster not partisanship but the recognition of true merit wherever found, to have no narrower limits within which to work together for the elevation of man than the outlines of the world. These were the thoughts and hopes uppermost in the minds of the founders of the Alpha Tau Omega fraternity. Otis Allen Glazebrook, 1880.
I chose ATO because as a freshman coming in, I saw that ATO was America's leadership development fraternity, and leadership is something that I am really interested in. It's something that is basically my passion. I love to lead, I love to foster leadership within others. I love to see people come together and work for a greater good and grow as a leader and become a better leader, not only in the chapter, but I became a better leader on campus. I became a better leader in my church, in my community. So it's just a chance for me to grow in multiple areas as a leader.
What brought me to ATO was the fact that when I was a freshman, you could walk around campus and see that you could tell they had a strong brotherhood. If you saw one ATO, you saw many. You never saw one by himself. And the fact that they were non-judgmental, and also that you could tell, like, not only were they a group of guys that helped build you up and bring you to Christ and have a strong relationship with Him, but they also knew how to have fun at the same time.
Sure, we kind of decided that we wanted a specific cause and a specific purpose to put all of our energy into, and so we chose any organization really that does heart research, because our chapter has a personal connection with that, and so it's influenced all of our lives, at least within our chapter. And so a few of us have planned out a way to bring awareness to a cause that even college students should be concerned about.
Last year, on December 1st, 2011, I wasn't feeling good. Ended up going to the hospital. My girlfriend made me. I didn't want to. Showed up. Doctor said, we think that there's something wrong with your heart. They ran some tests. My heart was beating really rapidly. It was kind of scary. I didn't know what was going on. And I got to the hospital about 11 o'clock, and I was there, all night. They ran tests in the morning, and I got told at around 10 a.m. that I had hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, which is a heart condition. And the second thing they told me is that I would never play sports again, that I would never run again, or play anything intense ever again. And it rocked my world, and it broke me. And the doctor left the room, and I kind of broke down and fell into my dad's arms and kind of freaked out. It was probably the worst day of my life. From there, about a week and a half later, I had surgery to put a defibrillator in. That thing right there. That's supposed to save my life if something crazy happens, but here's the deal. Like, I went through the darkest period of my life over winter break last year, and every day my brothers were there for me. That night I went to the hospital at 11 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, my big brother showed up, stayed with me till 5 in the morning, until the doctors made him go home. He was there, not holding my hand, but he would have if I'd asked him to. He was there because I was weak at that point, and I was scared. And the next day, 15 of my brothers showed up. The next day after that, guys were there giving me gifts, telling me I was going to be okay, that no matter what, that they were going to be there for me. And for the next 2 months, I was at home in bed after surgery. And at times I was sick, at times I was bored, and they came to visit me. They called me, they texted me, sent me Facebook messages, they sent me gifts. And through the darkest time of my life, I knew that those guys were there for me 100%. I was, humbled and broken by what had happened, but at the same time, I had never felt more love from a group of people than from these guys. And the guys in this house kept me from going into depression when I knew I was never going to get to play basketball again. And they kept me from freaking out when I heard that, I had to have a big surgery, 10 days after, I didn't even know anything was wrong. And I've never been through anything like that. I hope that I never will again. But if you join ATO, there's nothing else like it. They're not just friends that, called and asked me how I was doing. They called and they prayed for me. They called and they made sure that I was okay. That emotionally, mentally, and physically that I was going to be there and that they were going to be there for me.